second city, but first in every team. Champion town, got trophies and them rings. Bulls on tap, we coming for everything. Yeah. Tap sports, we coming for everything. Yeah. It's apparent, nobody talking better than Melissa and Derek. They hate to compare it. Us and women's placed in the marriage, forever we cherish. Got opinions on the Bulls, who better to share it. I know you wish you can be cool as we foolishly and never be number one against our legends 2 and 3. Don't act like y'all don't know who you hear, who you see. Bulls on tap sports, y'all know who we be. For real, word.
What's up, Bulls Nation? Welcome into another episode of Bulls on Tap podcast, presented to you by On Tap Sports Network. I'm your host, Derek, and as always, I'm rocking with my co-host, Miss Melissa. What's going on, Missy?
What's up, gang? How you guys feeling? I'm very excited to be here today. We got some special guests.
Yep, we have the dopest ad readers that read ads anywhere. From the Chgo podcast, we've got Big Dave and Matt Peck. Guys, how's it going?
Go ahead, man. Tell them.
Well, first of all, shout out to you guys. That intro is freaking fire. Oh my god, dope, I love it. Yeah. I got hair on my forearm standing up right now from that intro. Great to chat with you guys as always. It was a pleasure to see you guys at D Rose night last weekend. And yeah, I'm here. I'm happy to be here. Let's talk some Bulls. Let's go.
Yeah, what he said. Very happy to be here. Always good to see y'all, man. Always good to see good people doing good things. And yeah, y'all are definitely two of them for sure. And I've said that to you both separately. So, and I'm gonna continue to say it to you both. So yeah, I'm happy to see y'all, man. Happy to be here. With my guy Matt, let's do some stuff.
Appreciate y'all. Definitely honored to have y'all on. We did see y'all like not too long ago with the Derrick Rose night game. With you guys in the Chgo Sweet Takeover.
Yeah. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Briscoe was trying to hide his celebrity that night. He was trying to be super cool and hide his slave. He would like sneak off and snap pictures with people on the low. You know what I mean? He was trying to hide his celebrity like he wasn't the one. He tried to. Bro, I saw you. I caught that. I saw that, bro, with these two right here. You're doing your thing, sir. Congratulations.
So we're trying to snap pictures with him.
Yes,
if anyone's looking for you.
I snuck off like in the second quarter to go and take clear pictures of the D Rose exhibit when like nobody else was there.
Smart man.
I don't know about you, Big Dave. I was just honored to be able to get a quick moment and a hello with the biggest celebrities in the building that night, which were, of course, Melissa's parents, who were like the sweetest people in the world. Oh my god! Every time I get a chance to say hi to them, I'm like, y'all are true heroes. True heroes.
They are awesome, super cool.
They absolutely love you guys. Like, I'll sometimes if I'm at their place, I'll turn you guys on the TV, and they're just like, they just love you guys so much.
We appreciate it, man. The feeling is definitely mutual. Absolutely, man. They are awesome.
My mom came out with the camera recording. I'm like, Ma, a photo, not a video. Such a mom moment. What do you guys think about D Rose night?
Oh man, like it was the word I kept using was special. That's the word I kept using. I felt like personally the Bulls exercised a demon that night. They have a ton of them that they've got to exercise for sure, but I felt like they exercised one of them that night because they did everything right. The way it was presented, the way Derrick Rose it's just to watch his growth from year one to where he is now. Because I remember when he wouldn't even talk, and when he did talk, he would be looking at the ground, and he just wasn't comfortable with that. But now to see him, head held high with his children, making the rounds, speaking to everybody, smiling all the time, just happy, with his life and at peace. You can truly see that he's at peace right now, and just ready to help the city of Chicago in any way he can, and using the Bulls as a platform to continue to do that. man, it's just awesome to see Neil Funk. Seeing him was great. Just all the old players, seeing Luol Deng get that standing ovation and just continue, to get that love was just really, really cool to see. Yeah, I thought they did everything correct that night, and it was just a lot of love that night given to Derrick Rose, and deservedly so. Oh, a lot more. I got a lot more demons to exercise, bro. But they got one. They got one that night.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dave is right. I think that they executed it very well as far as an event, a night, a ceremony is concerned. Certainly a far cry of an improvement from that disgusting Ring of Honor ceremony that they botched so badly last season. I think Jerry Krause's poor widow is still like crying in a corner somewhere. Which is why Dave said in our pregame show that like y'all better behave yourselves. And look, when we were
up much meaner than that, but yeah,
up there in that skybox, did I happen to hear a smattering of boos when certain members of this organization were thanked by Derek, by Joakim? Yeah, I noticed that there was a smattering of. I wasn't one of the people booing. I promised Dave I would be on my best behavior, and I was. But no, I think that lends itself to the idea that I was very much conflicted as a Bulls fan being there. I told Dave that from day one when we started talking about doing a big event for this for CHGO. I have been like loudly railing on our show more often than not that until Bulls fans stop giving them their hard-earned dollars for a mediocre product is what you're going to keep getting. And I firmly believe that. And it's why I don't like spending my hard-earned money on this team as a Bulls fan right now, because the product on the floor is crap. And the Bulls have been, if they excel at anything, it is making money off of nostalgia. And as Bulls fans, and I lump myself into this, we're a sucker for nostalgia, whether it be the dynasty days that some of us were lucky enough to grow up on, or for younger generations, the nostalgia of Derek and Joakim and those teams that actually went to the playoffs, fought hard in the playoffs, and won some playoff games. And it's like, yeah, like we know things are bad right now, but like, hey, look over here. Look at this flashy Derrick Rose retirement night where we slap you across the face with like the actual present and reality of what's happening right now. So I was convicted as a Bulls fan feeling like that, and also letting myself at times feel the emotion of what it meant to be in that building as a Bulls fan who truly like fell in love with this team. I've always been in love with this team, but my insane levels of passion and fandom came back because of Derrick Rose and what he meant to this city and what he meant to this team and its fans. So I was an emotional like seesaw all night of feeling all of those things, and it was overwhelming. And I came out of it feeling glad that I was there, and that's what I'll take away from it. I'm glad that all things considered, I'm glad that I was there.
That's a big statement coming from Matt, saying he's glad he was there. And I'm gonna let y'all in real quick. You see this right here? You see this?
Hey,
you see this?
Smile.
That is Matt Peck looking at Joakim Noah on Derrick Rose night. That is it right there. That's him. You see it? Drink that in right there. Drink that. Have a sip. Don't let him fool you. He was in there a little bit. He was in just a little bit. You can't help it. You see Joakim, that's the kryptonite. That's the kryptonite. Joakim's the kryptonite, man. You gotta let himself feel on those.
I wish you had a before picture.
He was on his best behavior. Honestly, he was. He's right though. He definitely was on his best behavior. He definitely was happy. He definitely was smiling because he knew that there were a lot of fans that wanted to see us. I don't think he or I realized how many fans wanted to see us, but it was definitely a nice amount of fans who wanted to see us and talk to us and things like that. So yeah, he was definitely on his best behavior. We did a great post-game show from the suite as well. So that was a lot of fun too. But yeah, I understand those feelings. And I hope there are multiple Bulls fans who feel like Matt does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sick of what the Bulls are continuing to put out. But there's a time and place. Just like, you have to learn to separate certain things. And that wasn't the time and that wasn't the place. That was a night for Derrick Rose, point blank. And yeah, that respect was given to him for that night.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it too. Like, whatever your feelings are towards the organization, the franchise, what they're doing or not doing, like, we're paying our respects to Derrick Rose. And more than that, like it was really Derrick giving his flowers to everybody else more so than us giving our flowers to him or the Bulls organization. Like he spent the whole weekend. I was lucky enough to like be on a couple of projects for the weekend, and seeing him being so gracious towards everybody that he was meeting, like from every type of staff member to all the fans, like he really took his time with everybody. Even at the pop-up shop, these people were lined around the block all the way past the Dearborn Bridge. And that was from 12 to 4. Like he really spent a good chunk of minutes with every single fan that came in and was very welcoming towards everybody. It was him giving his flowers to everybody, to the city, to everybody that like contributed to his stardom now as a Bulls player, and so forth. Just from like his childhood all the way up through his whole career. So that was really cool to see. So again, like whatever your feelings are towards the franchise, like you guys are saying, we put that aside and we just know what it is. Like Derrick Rose deserves all the flowers for everything he's doing, even outside of basketball and beyond. Like you said, he's a businessman now. So it's going to be really cool to see all these amazing things he's going to do within Chicago. That, I mean, he's already done a bunch of stuff. I'm very excited for all that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it as well. And just what he continues to bring forth to the city. Yeah, it's exciting. Melissa, I'm gonna mess with you. I already messed with Briscoe. I'm gonna mess with Melissa real quick. When earlier, I don't know when she said this before the ceremony, but she was talking about how she didn't have a way to get there and didn't have a ticket to go to the Derrick Rose ceremony. And it wasn't, when I saw that tweet, I was about to yell at her for a second. Because I was like, in a nice way, man. I was like, because in my mind, I was like, there is no way on God's green earth of all people that we can think of that you are not going to Derrick Rose night. Like immediately I started thinking of ways to get her there. And then Matt told me he was thinking the same kind of thoughts that I was thinking, like, yeah, dude, we're going to try to. There was no way. There's no Bulls fan I can think of that deserves that night more as a fan than you. And there was just absolutely no way that you were not going to be there. So I wasn't surprised when somebody allowed you to be there and get there. It was like, yeah, like that's par for the course. Absolutely. You were going to be there, and it was very happy to see you be there.
I'm glad that I saw your tweet, Melissa, when you were like, sub all, like, I can't remember how you phrased it, but like, I got it, I'm going. Because I was she can have my ticket. I was like, I know it'll mean more to her. She can have my ticket. Be Dave's co-host. I'd like go have fun in the suite. I'm good. Like,
oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. That is so appreciated. Yeah, I definitely was blessed. But yeah, those ticket prices were insane. I just couldn't fit in the budget. But then, yeah, I got lucky. I was definitely blessed. And then I ended up spending double than what I didn't want to spend because I needed to make sure that my parents were there with me now too. So all in all, it was just a great experience. I have zero regrets. I got to see you guys in the atrium, hang out with y'all for a little bit. I got to hang out with Derrick. It was Mina's birthday afterwards. And of course, like the energy.
Happy birthday, Romina.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes. The energy in the arena, man, I don't know when the last time y'all felt like that before. Like it's been so long. It's been so long. Like that electrifying energy. Yo.
I mean, like maybe there was some of that in their, 2 home playoff games against Milwaukee, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But truly that level of electricity in the building. The last time I can say I was in that building with that level of electricity, Derrick Rose was not in a suit. He was in a Bulls jersey on the court. Like it had been that long that I personally witnessed that much electricity in that building.
I think the last time was actually they lost the game, but I was with Matt. It was Joakim Noah night. And I surprised Matt with tickets to that. And we went. And it was a whole that fourth quarter comeback that they had was just really, really something. And the building was rocking, and we're all high-fiving people and just having a great time. And they ended up losing that game. I definitely remember. And I think that's some of the game Patrick Williams hurt his wrist, and he was out forever after that, and he forgot how to play basketball after that. But I think
still hasn't
it still hasn't recovered, basketball wise. but yeah, that was the last I really like felt like that kind of good energy in that building.
Well, it'll be more good energy next season when they actually raise Derek's jersey into the rafters.
Yeah,
which Casey Johnson speculated would be on Ring of Honor Night 2.
Start
Two.
saving.
Sequel.
Start saving now.
Yes.
Honestly, if I were one of Derek's teammates who came into town from wherever I was or wherever I lived last weekend, I'd be like, "What the hell? Just put it. We're here now. Just put it up there. Just put it up there." But why? Why have one Derrick Rose nostalgia cash grab when you can have two classic?
Exactly. That's what we've been talking about too. When people have been asking, like, do you think that they're gonna retire his jersey that night? And both of us were like, nah.
I was like, they'll announce it for next season.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Wait, like Briscoe, when we found you in the atrium that night, didn't you say to us that like you walked your way through the Madhouse store earlier, like right when you got there, and you were like, "Yo, the shelves were empty." Like, all of like the D Rose stuff that they made and put out in the Madhouse, like it was just all gone.
Gone in probably less than 15 minutes.
Wow, out of there. Yeah, we're doing that again.
Why would they not have enough merch? Like, knowing that people are paying this much money to go to this game, people traveled from overseas to come. I'll never understand that. Why did they just not produce more? Like, as much as they're trying to make money for things, like they were out with the quicks, like you guys are talking about. I had somebody reach out to me from Australia asking, like, would you mind sending me merch? Like, I'll pay you money. And I was so down. I was there in the atrium at 5:15. Everything was gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The love is real, man. The love is real. And it's going to be more on D Rose night 2.
It's why like people were still buying D Rose's shoes and D Rose was still getting like top 10 All-Star votes many years after his consecutive knee injuries kind of knocked him out of being like a production-wise All-Star for real. It's because people have always loved Derrick Rose that much and continue to support him by buying his stuff, which that I am all in favor for. Buy Derrick Rose's stuff. Don't buy the Bull stuff. Buy Derrick Rose's stuff.
Moore says, Ring of Honor 2, give me 2 bags.
Give me 2 bags.
I mean, with the state that the team is in right now, I'm sure that's they got to try to plan that stuff to get people like Matt to come out.
Oh, he's not coming.
He'll be there.
Been there, done that. Heroes night 1 of 2, mostly as a work obligation. Yes, I was there.
Yes,
night 2 of 2. Nah, y'all have fun. Y'all have fun.
Shout out to Clem. He said he's definitely going to try to make the trip for the jersey retirement.
Boom. There
you go.
Already.
Clem can have my ticket.
That's what I'm saying. Gravity is crazy of Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
So many people traveled from overseas to come, just specifically for the game. Thankfully, Derrick's team did more stuff throughout the week, but his gravity is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. The love is that strong and that real. And yeah, like you have to retire that number. I don't think anybody had any doubt that was going to happen. It was just about when they were going to do it. No, man, there wasn't doubt. There was disbelief.
Apparently, some people had some doubt, Dave, and some people who had doubt are the people who own the team.
It was a matter of when. Yeah, no, you're right, but it was a matter of when to do it. Not about. At least that's how I took it. Not about if it should be, but a matter of when it should be. But yeah, man, it was gonna happen. Like, it's Derrick Rose, bro. Like, it's already retired. Like, you're not even allowed to put that on. Like, Michael Carter Williams found that out the hard way. Like, you're not even allowed to put that on, bro. Like, you're not even allowed to touch it. People don't want to see it. So, yeah, man, and it's deserving. He's Derrick Rose. He's awesome. So, yeah, it's deserving.
Yeah, I mean, luckily the Bulls like came out after that Derrick Rose tribute and showed up.
They did.
Unlike last night.
Yeah. You're not gonna get that all the time, baby. Just not how it is, Briscoe. You're not gonna get that every game, baby. No.
We got two great games, man. Out of that, 2 great games.
Yeah, we got 2, and that kind of sparked the tankers versus the anti-tanker war because they're like, we're 4 games back from being in 5th place.
Actually, 2 games. They were 2 games back. They were 2 games back going into that game against the Pacers, and 2 games out of the 5th seed actually going into that game because it's the East.
It's the East, exactly.
If you look at it right now, though, everybody who is ahead of the Bulls has a winning record. All of them, like all 9 teams, have a winning record, and Philly is coming. And Philly is going to take that over eventually, so they're going to drop down. It's just a matter of when it happens. I hope it happens sooner than later, so we can really, get this going on, and people can, stop with the false hope over here, bro. But yeah, man, they are who they are. We know who they are. They're going to be 3 games under. They're not going to be great every game. They haven't had. I don't believe they've had a 4 or 5 game winning streak. I could be wrong about that. Maybe they've had 4, and I don't remember it. Nope. Maybe they had, and I don't remember it. Maybe it was me playing 2K, and I just forgot. But they're not that team to make that kind of run, or they haven't shown they can be that kind of team to make that kind of run where everything is clicking. Because look, when everything is clicking, it's not something that is continuous. It just doesn't. There's no consistency in it. You'll see it happen for a game, and they'll look amazing when they do it. That Spurs game was outstanding basketball. And you saw Zach LaVine and Kobe White. I mean, he dunked on Victor Wembanyama for
that was sick. Dunk of the year for sure.
Nasty work right there by Kobe White. And I mean, Zach just had yesterday his 4th straight game of 30+ points in consecutive games of 30+ points. He hasn't done that since the first time he's been an All-Star a few years back. So yeah, that stuff is great, but they don't have the horses to have that be consistent. Zach is going to be that. Kobe is up and down. We know that. Vooch is kind of, smoothing out from that amazing start that he had, but it's still really good when he smoothed out. It's still good. Outside of that, where you at? Who you got? Who's going to be that person for them, man? I haven't seen them. So when those guys are hitting that shot, and I don't want to forget Ayo either. He's been outstanding all season long. But outside of those guys, man, that's not enough to get you to a 5th seed. It's enough to have you where you are and where you're going to continue to be. So, yeah, I'm accepting of it. I'm going to need more people to start stepping into that realm of acceptance because we've been talking about it even before the season began, what this team was going to be and what they were going to look like. So I just wish more people would step into that. Or, if you don't, you want to continue having that hope, okay, that's fine. But just know the reality of what the situation and what it's going to be and how it's going to look. And don't be shocked when they lose by 20 to the Wizards. And don't be shocked when they lose by 30 to the Pacers. They're not consistent enough to maintain that flow that you might see on any given night.
Yeah, 18 turnovers, 12 of 35 from 3, outscored by 22 points in the paint. And that's going to happen more than once this season.
Yeah, and no Miles Turner.
Because it's the East, we're still in playing position. The carrot's still there, man.
That freaking carrot, man. That freaking carrot. I don't know. Do you guys want me to talk now? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I really yeah, they can prove that they're capable of beating the Celtics or the Bucks or that quality win over the Knicks on D Rose night. Beating the Spurs when Wemby was out there, unlike the first time they beat the Spurs when he was not. I still think that the Spurs masterfully secret tanked that game. Because if you watched what the Spurs were running offensively in that 4th quarter, my God, it was trash. Absolute trash. I think the Spurs have people running their organization who know that they would probably like themselves a pick at 11 or 12 in this upcoming draft that is totally stacked. The East is trash. The East is trash, and the Bulls are right there in like sub-level 2 trash. They're 17-20 after that loss to the Pacers last night. They were 16-21 last season when they had DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso, and were I know that AK said it immediately, we're going to go out there and try and win every game this season. Okay. But they were much more obviously going out there and trying to win with that core they had assembled and had kept together at the start of last season compared to the start of this season. This season, any Bulls fan paying attention knew that at least optimistically developing some of the younger players on this team in DeMar and Caruso's departure and bringing in Giddey in that trade and seeing what Kobe can do and seeing what some of the other younger guys, Julian, Dalen, the rookie Modest can do, was also going to be a focus while protecting the integrity of the game, quote unquote. Like what culture and integrity can you talk about when you have 5 playoff series wins in the 26 years since MJ, Scotty, and Phil walked out the door? Shut up before preaching to me as a Bulls fan about culture and integrity of the game. You have none. So if you're going to pivot, then frickin' pivot. But to Billy Donovan's credit, and I know there are plenty of Billy non-believers and Billy haters out there in Bulls Nation, some of whom might be in our fellow company right now. They have one more win through this number of games, nearly halfway through the season, than they did last season. And yes, Zach LaVine not playing hurt or not playing because he's hurt is a big factor in that. Vooch having a career year is a big factor in that. But you take away their best offensive player and their best defensive player from last season's roster, and you are one win better when you were supposed to be pivoting to a youth movement. And none of these wins, none of them, are stamped with, wow, Modest had a hell of a game. Wow, Julian Phillips had a hell of a game. Wow, Dalen Terry had a hell of a game. Nothing, nada, none of it. You can give some credit to Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu for the roles that they play on this team. And they are 2 people on 3-year team-friendly deals who they should theoretically, if they're smart, be taking calls on between now and a month from now. Not just trying to find a taker for Zach's contract, because we know because of the CBA that's halfway impossible. Do the Warriors want Vooch? I don't know. Will they give us a ham sandwich and a second-round pick for Vooch? Great. Welcome to the Warriors, Vooch. You know, like Lonzo Ball, all the credit in the world to him for coming back from all those surgeries, the last of which had never been done before by an NBA player or any American professional athlete of any kind. He's out there playing and out there proving every night that look across the plus-minus numbers of the entire NBA. Lonzo is one of the highest impact winning and impact positive numbers on the court players in the entire league. He's on an expiring deal. Any playoff team want him? But the players on this team impacting winning right now are the vets who the Bulls have already decided are not in the team's long-term plans. And those players getting you wins while the young guys sit on the bench are going to rob you of a lottery pick your franchise desperately needs. What the hell are they doing? It drives me crazy every day. Every freaking day.
Mm-hmm. I can attest to that every single day.
I mean, yeah, that's my problem with Billy this season is we're getting blown out last night. Mm-hmm. Why not play Modest? Why not play Julian? I mean, he went to Chris Duarte to try to get some type of offense going instead of playing the rookie.
Oh God. It didn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was just super confusing.
The
like,
reason
what?
they're winning as many games as they are is because Billy completely overhauled their offense and is running it pretty efficiently. They went from being one of the lowest volume 3-point shooting teams to one of the highest, and they're also somewhere between top 5 and top 10 in 3-point efficiency. And they went from being one of the lowest pace teams offensively to one of the highest. Like, they have turnover problems some nights, like they did last night, but like, the reason they're winning is because Zach and Vooch are playing at a high level. Kobe and Ayo are contributing. Lonzo's been great off the bench, but like Billy overhauled the offense, and their offense, like when they're winning 138 to 122. That's why they're winning games, because Billy completely changed their offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No disagreement with it.
It's just all confusing. Like Chris being in, like put in the first quarter, and then like you guys are talking about, we talk about that too. Like what they're not developing any of the young guys. This is the purpose for the most part of this season. Like we know we're not really going to get anywhere. So why aren't we playing the young guys? Why aren't they getting their experience? Yeah, you get experience by watching games. You get experience by watching practices and like just being with the vets, but there's nothing like in-person, in-game experience. So that's all really confusing to me too, because like most of the games we're winning and we're doing well with, it's attributed to our vets. So like, what are we really winning here?
Mm-hmm.
Very
Completely agree.
Moore says AK's front office velocity is charity. He built a winner in Orlando, and he's going to build a winner in San Antonio.
Looking out, he cares so much, so deeply. But Matt
Chris Paul's not going to be around forever. Wemby needs a good young point guard to run that pick and roll with for the next 15 years. He'll probably find it in this year's draft.
You got that right. And Matt is correct. Like watching what Billy did. I mean, look at what the offense was last year when they didn't really have that kind of shooting. It was DeMar DeRozan, and it was rebounding and putbacks. Like that was the offense. So basically DeMar DeRozan, and like if Drummond has a 20 rebound game, that's extra possessions, and he can score that way. That's your offense. And to completely change that and overhaul that, knowing you're going to be worse defensively, knowing you're supposed to be worse offensively, and turn this team's from their culture from just a give it to DeMar team to a everybody touches the ball and gets 3-point shots and do it at a nice pace and a nice rate. Yeah, the man can coach. Absolutely he can. And I will always say Billy can coach, and you'll never hear me doubt that. But man, when he does some certain things, I'll be looking at him like, what the hell are you thinking on this? Yesterday, when we were watching the game yesterday, I'm watching with Will the Go Gottlieb, shout out to him. And I'm watching it, and you can see early on, and I told him, I was like, hey man, they're going to need THT to get in this game because nobody else is going to be able to score or create this shot. Might as well put him in the game, right? Billy said, okay, I'll put him in the game. How about in the third quarter I do it, though? How about I do it in the third and toss him in? And then in the second, I said, yeah, they're going to need Javon Carter, too. I got you. Let me put him in the fourth. Let me do that for you then. So it's and then not to play the young guys and to not grow them. Billy doesn't. It's not his thing. If you're a veteran on this team, you're going to get time to play. If he likes you, if he's cool with you, you're going to get that time to play. He doesn't really play those young guys, man. He's not in that development life. That's just, he continues to show that. But if you are a guy who comes in and who's ready to play, like Ayo Dosunmu, it's rare that a guy comes in like Ayo Dosunmu and is ready to play from day one and has got everything a coach needs and everything that the team needs from day one. The development, though, Billy is just not about that. He in his mind, he's like, send him down to my son in the G League. We can do it that way. But yeah. At least that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Go
honestly,
ahead, man.
Like Dave, that's I think what drives GOAT crazy because, and I think he's right, and he's made this observation, more than once in our various post games so far this season. Like, it makes you as a Bulls fan wonder if Billy and AK and Eversley and the Doors are all actually on the same page, or are they not? Because right. Billy and his rotations, when you talk about it, and who's getting minutes and who's not, and even in a blowout, like. Can we get the young guys some minutes? No? Okay. But if AK was not BSing on media day when he said, like, no, youth movement, schmooth movement, we're going to go out there and try and win every game, then you would think players, vets, who Billy Donovan prefers, like Torrey Craig and Javon Carter, would be ahead of names like Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips, and even the Rook, Modest Buzelis, in his rotation. And yes, recently in this last stretch of 5 or 10 games, somewhat because of injuries and somewhat because of desperation, we have seen Billy call on the likes of Torrey Craig or Javon Carter on random nights. But out of the gate this season, who did you see on the back end of Billy's rotation more often? Those two vets who the Bulls signed to come in and be quality role players, last offseason, or Julian and Dalen? Because Julian and Dalen were getting more minutes, while Torrey Craig and Javon Carter were getting DNPs, coach's decision. So to the layman's Bulls fan observer, it seems like Billy is trying to straddle this fence of partly embracing a youth movement and getting some of these young guys some minutes, while also trying to go out there and win every night. And it's like, you can't do both. You cannot do both. Pick a freaking lane, people. And by people, yes, Billy, but also Billy's bosses. And Billy, I saw he had, a quote the other day. I think it was before their game on Monday night, when there were people quoting him on Twitter saying we've talked about that, management, the front office, about it's not so much about young players getting minutes. We haven't necessarily had conversations about if it's a youth movement or if it's I'm going out there and I'm trying to win every night. Okay, well then why are Julian and Dalen getting minutes? It's like a half-assed youth movement. I think that's what's driving Bulls fans crazy. Pick a lane.
But that's why I'm also saying, if Billy likes you, he don't like Javon Carter. Listen, Javon Carter, when he first got here, was getting tick. He was getting definite tick when he first got here. As soon as he was having them bad game after bad game, we never saw Javon Carter again. And the last time we saw him he scored 26, and Billy still said, "No, we good. Good looking out. Appreciate you." He likes Julian Phillips. He likes Dalen Terry. He likes those guys. He thinks they're cool. Guys like Sonogo and those guys, never, ever, ever will they see the floor. They ain't getting no shot out there on the floor. But again, when he started giving Dalen and Julian minutes, this is year 3 or 4 for Dalen right here? It's year 2 for Julian, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, it's year 3 for Dalen, 2 for Julian.
Okay. So guys, and then a couple of guys had to move out the way as far as Drummond and Dragic and a couple of those guys who are not around anymore, and obviously Caruso not around anymore. But you're right, Matt is correct when he's talking about straddling a fence, because saying that, you can even go and say that about everybody's boy Josh Giddey. Bulls fans love a Josh Giddey, but see, there it is, his name right there. As soon as I bring it up, there goes a Josh Giddey right there. They love a Josh Giddey, because if it was like that, then you see why Lonzo is getting his tick in that fourth quarter, over a guy like Josh Giddey. And that's been happening much more and more and more consistently. But it's also straddling a fence at the same time. Part of that is on Billy. The majority of that is on the front office, for sure, for what they're giving and putting out there on the floor. But Billy's job is to try to win. That's his job. That's what, because if it ends today for him as a coach of the Chicago Bulls, he's got to go get another job, man. And when they look at your resume and they're like, ugh, it's not going to be like, well, I was just doing that because they wanted me to. No, he's trying to win basketball games, man. And I understand that aspect of it. But yeah, he definitely has some flaws for sure. No doubt.
I think you just hit on the head, Dave, because I just see in y'all's chat, Let's Talk Bulls, that Billy's trying to win just enough games to get another secret extension. It's either that or Billy's trying to coach for his next job. And whether it's the NBA or any other professional sports league, oftentimes you will see a coach in a lame duck situation where that coach and their collection of players is not raising that league's trophy that year and is not raising that league's trophy anytime soon. So they are coaching that night, and they are also coaching for their next job. And as competitive as Billy Donovan is, I don't think he's going to walk away. I don't think he's going to go back to college like some people have suggested he would like to do. No, I think Billy Donovan would like to keep coaching and being a head coach in the NBA. I honestly think he would like to do that somewhere other than Chicago fairly soon. And so he has to prove on the tape aspect of his resume that he's not an idiot when he goes in and interviews for his next job. And that's part of the reason why you see him making some of these rotation decisions.
That's a good point. That very may be what it is.
You still hate him though, Briscoe.
I just don't want him here. I want I think like we need a developmental coach right now, and he's not a developmental coach. He likes the vets, and if we are going to go youth, we need a coach who's going to work with the youth. So
yeah, you're right.
I just don't want him here. I mean, if he goes somewhere else, kudos.
He gonna be like, "Ooh, look at that gum chewing! Great job, Billy! Great job for the other team." He gonna love it. He'll be all about it.
Like, man, yeah. Hopefully, he can go somewhere where they're more veteran oriented and those players are ready to win, and it works out for them. But we need somebody else because, man, Patrick Williams is still is still Patrick Williams.
Did he I wasn't working last night. He had 2 points.
He had 2 points.
He had 2 points.
2 of 4 from the free throw line.
Yes, Matt. 6
from the field.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. Yes, that part. That's
3 rebounds.
That part. It's not man. It wasn't 2 free throws back to back. It was I hit one and I missed one this time, and then I'm gonna wait a quarter and go to the third and hit one and miss one that time.
I'll give you one more.
You're right. You're right.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh my God.
What?
Yes. Drink that in, because I watched it.
What? Okay. So I saw this post-game quote from Patrick Williams from our guy Drew from the Big.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Talking about his role. Can we talk about this for a second?
Yes, please.
I think I have a video of what you're talking about.
In the half court, it's obviously a little tougher. We have plays and sets that we run where we trust the ball in Kobe's hands, Zach's hands, Josh Giddey's hands, Vooch's hands. And I think as of now in my career, at least up to this point, a lot of my buckets have come off of closeouts, transitions, getting downhill that way. That's where I am in my career, or where they have me at in my career.
That part. What the hell is he talking about?
I read that and I was like, Pat, wait, what amount of psilocybin did you just eat, and can I have some? Like, what planet are you living on right now? What?
None of that.
What? You're listing all these teammates and it's like, well, the ball has to be in his hands, his hands, his hands, his hands. Why not my hands? Because every time you try and dribble the ball, you dribble it off your damn foot. Or every time you take one dribble confidently, think like, oh, I'm going to take my guy. I like this matchup I have one-on-one right now. You get scared after one dribble and pass the ball.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You have no game. You have no ball handling skills whatsoever. Where do you get off making a comment like that?
That part right there, Matt. How do you walk in with that and say that with a straight face after what you just did in this last game? With a straight face. I watched you play for like 35 minutes, including in overtime, and you had like 1 rebound. It's annoying. It's nobody stopping you. Do you remember the excuse used to be DeMar? He's not there. Yep. What do you want to do? Give him the ball. Go get the ball. Do what you want to do. It is not good enough. Period, dog. What are you talking about? Oh, well, they get the ball. Well, how come I don't get the ball? Because you dribble it off your face. That's why. It's simple. And you can absolutely go get the ball yourself by going and getting rebounds. Go get the ball. It's for anybody. It can't be games. What was the game I yelled at you about, Matt, where I saw I think Modest Muzelis played like 4 minutes and had more rebounds than Pat, who played like 30. What are you talking about? Modest don't have a problem getting points. Modest has a 20-point game before you. Javon Carter has a 20-point game before you. I watched Torrey Craig come off and drop 18. Torrey Craig walked out of the club, showed up. What are you talking about, dude? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it, man, because all I hear is it's somebody else's fault. That's what I hear. I hear that it's not on me. Well, it's what they got me doing. Well, do what you want. They're not stopping you. Nobody's is hindering you from being good at basketball or what you want to do out there on the floor. Do it. You know who wants you to do it? Billy. Why? Because he plays you like 30 minutes. He wants you to be good, man. God dang, dog. Like this is that's frustrating as hell. When I read that, Matt, I mean, oh God, I started yelling immediately to nobody. Nobody in my house, and I'm just yelling. I'm going off, dog. Like just yelling. That was on our show yesterday when after the game, the fans in the chat for the entire hour were just yelling about Patrick Williams. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I was like, fine, I'm gonna leave Patrick alone. I'm tired of talking about Patrick. We did a bunch of other topics. Every topic they brought it right on back to that man named Patrick Williams and how bad he has been at basketball for the Chicago Bulls. Nobody is telling you go out there and miss free throws. Nobody's telling you not to play with no energy. Nobody is telling you to get cooked on defense. When did you become bad on defense, bro? That used to be your thing. Now it's like, no, I can't trust you there either. I'm watching guards body you. I'm watching you be bad at what you're supposed to be doing on the floor. I don't even care about the money. You're just bad at basketball right now, bro. And that's a problem. You can't say things like this and be bad at basketball. That's what he just wrote right there. Bad. You could write 60 and I'm gonna still be pissed, man. Like dude, that's why I don't think it's about the money. Because whatever they're paying him, you haven't shown up for your contract. You know what I mean? Whatever you're getting paid, bro, you haven't shown up for it. It's a no excuse here for me, which is why I'm so upset when he says stuff like that. We watching the games. You're about to get benched. I'm like, what's the point of putting him out there? Sit him down. Let him come off the bench, man. What are we doing, dog? What are we doing?
His attitude kills me. It's the attitude for me, like, and this lack of accountability, obviously, but the attitude, man, he's always like, and something goes wrong, he's completely checked out. Like, it's done for him. Like one error, he's done. And you have no excuse. Like you had DeMar working with you like all of last season. Like you had DeMar DeRozan working with you personally. And this is where we're at. You like regressed this season. Yeah, it makes no sense. It's just you see like he's just so scared all the time. He's playing so fearful and so indecisive, and he just can't get out of his head. So I can't figure out if he really just sucks or like is it like a terrible mental block, because all those times you would see like little flashes of hope, which I don't really bank and I don't put any stock on anymore. But is it just mental? Like what is it? Because every time like the energy is not even there anymore as it was last season. Like you guys had mentioned, like the defense too. The defense was like our big shining light with him, and now where are you at? Like what happened to him?
And like Melissa, that's a really good question. Like, is it just mental? Is it just like, well, like some guys have that mentality and some don't to get better? But I don't know why. Like, okay, if you don't have that killer instinct mentality, MJ, Kobe, like, okay, fine. But you can still theoretically be somebody who's realized I am talented enough and I put in enough work to become an NBA player, a high lottery drafted NBA player, and I should probably keep working on my game to get better so that I can continue to be a player who shines for his team, ideally a winning team, and continue to thrive in the league and make money doing it. We've seen other young players in this iteration of the Bulls get better at their game on either end of the floor. Peck came in as a raw defensive player with upside, and I guess I could say has made certain strides. I think he's a little bit better at guarding bigger guys in the front court defensively because he has put some muscle on his body. But when you're talking about the mentality aspect and what are you doing to improve your game? What are you doing in the off seasons? What are you doing when you're getting shots up in the gym in between games? Like I just saw that Modis, who has been up and down as a 3-point shooter so far his rookie season, and we all know about his shooting stats his 1 year in the G League, but he has never been reluctant to shoot. He has been confident when he finds an open look in his limited minutes, he takes his shots. I saw a video of him the other day. I think it was maybe Julia Poe who had it, shout out to her, of like Modest working with Peter Patton about bringing his shot up through his legs and not relying on his upper body and his arms for his shot form, and to work on holding his follow through on his shot. That is a shooting coach teaching and working with a young rookie on how to improve his 3-point shot and his shot form. And we have seen strides from many of these guys working with Peter Patton so far. Mm-hmm. Why is it that Patrick Williams has been here since before Peter Patton got here, and Patrick Williams' release time on his 3-point shot is still the same month and a half that it was when he came in as a rookie? How is it that Patrick Williams has not improved the release time on his 3-ball, one of the few semi-reliable parts of his game? Why is it that Patrick Williams, who we were all just getting jokes off on about dribbling the ball off his foot, has been in the NBA for 4 years and has not improved his ball handling skills one speck of one iota? Some guys improve their game. He has shown no evidence of improving his game and the work that goes into that. So why the hell should Bulls fans keep believing in some like abstract ghost smoke form of Patrick Williams that we all continue to hang our hats of hope on because we drafted him 4th overall 4 years ago? The guy there's no evidence to suggest he's putting work into his game to make it better, because it's all the same from when he was a rookie. It's all the same.
Bro,
yeah, that part.
I want to go.
I love that the picture stop right there. That was awesome.
I want to go to something else that Pat said after last night's game.
Oh, goodness.
More? I'm just playing. Go ahead. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this video? Oh, man.
It's like, it's the first time using this, so it's a little slow.
Oh, shout out.
We got a video.
Right. We're making history. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
As a team, you know that. How much pride do you take? I mean, you always obviously always got the tough defensive assignments. Pascal's a tough one. I mean, do you feel like as a collective unit, you guys were ready from the jump tonight?
Definitely not. And that's on us. That's us, just being professional. That's our job, to show up to play. You know what I mean? And we can do that tonight or for the whole night. You know what I mean? It's the best league in the world. You can't just show up and expect to win, and show up and kind of half-ass and expect to compete and win the game, no matter how much talent you have. And I think we definitely have enough talent when we compete, play hard to beat anybody. I think we kind of shown that, but we have nights like this where we're just not ready to play, and it showed. But I think we just got to be better as a team. We know that.
Coming from the poster boy of half-assing it. I'm going to half-ass it tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to bring up. He says you can't just show up and expect to win, and then he puts up 2 points.
Zero self-awareness. Zero self-awareness.
Yes.
Why is he talking about like himself too? Like there's no accountability. Like, yeah, you can talk about the team, but like what did you contribute or not contribute? Like, why are you not speaking on yourself? Like,
he contributed 2 whole points, Melissa.
No, man, no. He contributed 2 free throws. 2 free throws. Sorry, Melissa, please. Sorry.
No, you're right. Exactly. That's it. It's just that it's the attitude for me. Like I would trust Matas over him any day, just based off like attitude and fearlessness and like the willingness to want to do better and work at it. Like how are you talking about the whole team when you got zero self-awareness, man. Zero.
That's like, it reminds me of a guy, like 2 guys like in the club trying to find somebody to dance with, and ladies aren't going to be looking at Patrick Williams. He might have on nice clothes, might have on all that, might be fly, but if you're sitting in the corner sulking, wondering why ain't nobody coming up to you, they don't want to talk to you. You know who they do want to talk to? Miles Buzelis, who's out there making an ass of himself on the dance floor, having a ball. Because guess what? They're like, oh, at least I can have some fun. At least he shows some heart. At least he looked like he want to do something. And then they're like, Patrick, man, how come no girls want to talk to me? Because you're sitting over there like the Grim Reaper. That's why. That's why they don't want to speak to you. What are you doing, dude? 2 points. And to take no accountability. Well, we got to be better. We got, as a professional, we got to do this. We get it's the greatest league in the world. What the hell are you talking about? What are we talking about, dog? Like, you scored 2 points. Talk to me about that. What were you thinking when you were bricking threes off the side of the glass? How come you couldn't get back on defense? How come you can't grab rebounds over guards? Why is McConnell, who I call the Gnat, why is the Gnat over here beasting you? Why? Why is this the case? There's something going on, dog, and it ain't physical. I'm telling you, if you put up a silhouette of Patrick Williams, you would be like, oh, that's what an NBA player looks like. If you knew nothing about him and you just saw a silhouette of that dude, you'd be like, that dude is an NBA player. He is a hooper. Whoever he is, he can go. And we would all be terribly wrong. All of us would be terribly wrong, man. No, this is some bull. Like, how you come out here and say this kind of stuff, bro? Like, for real, how's that come out your mouth? No, man. You ain't even dropped 20. This is why I made the bet, man. You ain't even dropped 20. We're in a brand new year, and I still ain't seen a 20-point game or anything close to him getting one. Like, get this dude out of here, man. This is trash. This is trash. Well, he's not a good rebounder. It's because he don't want to be. Mm-hmm. It's because he don't want to be. All right? Put some onus on yourself, as Melissa said, man. Like, take some blame for yourself about what you've done wrong. And then hold yourself accountable. There are plenty of guys on this team who hold themselves accountable. Kobe comes to mind immediately. Mm-hmm. Like, there are plenty of people on this team who hold themselves accountable for what they do out there on the floor. Not asking you to be a superstar. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to do all that, but I am asking you to have a pulse. I am asking you to look like you want to be out there, and you just don't look like you're going through the motions. You know, that's what my man John Sabine used to say about Otto Porter Jr., man. Basketball looks like it's his fourth favorite thing. You know, like it just doesn't look like he just does it because he has the size and he's big and everybody told him to do it. That's what it looks like when he's out there on the floor, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating watching him play. It really is. And disappointing.
The mentality, and I agree, Dave. Like the whole thing about the silhouette, like, what if Kawhi had broader shoulders and was an inch taller? Like, yes. That's why people make those comps. That the giant hands and that frame. It was like, but it, like, he's got the mentality of Tony Snell. The 20-point game thing, like, I was talking to one of our guests at our CHGO takeover in the suite on D Rose night. I think his name was John. Shout out to him about the whole Patrick Williams debate. And like how people in our comments on a recent show when we were criticizing Pat were like, man, these guys will find any excuse to criticize Pat. Like, he can like have a 20-point night and only grab 3 rebounds, and they'll trash him for not having 5 rebounds. And I was like, this is absurd. Like, what is this sarcasm? Is this parody? Is this a parody account of someone defending Patrick Williams still at this point? And I know that there are still people who watch our show who defend Patrick Williams every night. Like, shout out to our guy Rob. He's in our comments every single night. He is still on Patrick Williams Island. And I respect that. Every fan is entitled to their opinion. But that one person who made that comment about, like, well, Pat could drop 20 and they'd still find a problem with it. I went and did the homework. Because, like, you say that as if it's, like, a thing that occurs all the time. And I believe when I went and did the math, it was 235 career games. It's now 240 career games. But still, the number of 20-point games is the same. Patrick Williams has played 240 NBA games, and he has scored 20 in 10 of them. 10 of them.
It's out of control.
He also had 2 20-point games in their playoff series against Milwaukee a few years ago. But regular season games, 240, 10 20-point games. What are we still waiting for? Honestly, what are we still waiting for? Because that player that we all hoped to exist does not exist.
Shout out to Finders Keepers in the chat saying he drops 20.
10 whole times. 10 whole times.
And if I'm not mistaken, Matt, like how many did he have like last season? Like, because I believe he had like 1 or 2 in those games last season, as far as like a 20-point game. But it wasn't a lot. It's not something he does all the time. Like, yeah, if he had a 20, dude, if he had 20 and 8, do you know how happy and ecstatic I would be. And also, you're not watching the show because previous seasons, that's all that now was sitting and do is defend Patrick Williams. It's all we did. It's all we did when Marquez was going in on Patrick Williams. All we did was sit and be like, man, we get it. We understand. But, there's something there. We don't want to give up. We didn't want to give up on Patrick, but this is why I said it was a no excuses tour for him this season, because there's no more excuses there. Everything is on you, and the light is shining bright, and he is sweating under those lights. And that's the only sweat you see him from Patrick Williams, because the damn sure ain't out there on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like last season too, I was still trying to give him grace. I'm like, he's still young, even though he's been in the league. What is it, 5 years now? Yeah. Like I was still trying to give him a little grace last season. Like, yeah, he might come into it, and you still see a little bit of flashes here and there. But this season, I'm in the same boat. I'm like, yeah, I've had enough. And listening to those interviews, especially the one that you just read off, Matt, like, yeah, the attitude is just not there. What are we doing? Nah, that's insane. Like,
oh, that's funny. Let's talk. Bulls said they need to change the rule to Pat drops 20 free Portillos for everybody.
And Clem says, bro, we would never eat.
Well, yeah, we will never have a free hot dog again, ever.
Chicago gonna be starving.
Starving, son. Oh my God.
Yeah, shout out Denzel. My brother's starving.
Oh yeah, that brother's starving.
I heard the meme. I saw the meme. I saw the clip.
It's out of your head, yeah.
Shout out Backpack Beats, who made our beat for our intro. He said he had faith in Pat when he was at FSU, I guess.
Hey, no, you did. Hey, that's a dope beat you did, sir.
Shout out to Backpack Beats, because that dope is awesome. But like, I had faith in Pat when the Bulls drafted him, watching a handful of his FSU games just because of his frame. Like they was talking about his NBA body a minute ago. He was also a one and done freshman who didn't even start for that Florida State team.
Right.
Like the expectations, and I think part of it was because like the Bulls jumped up in the lottery that year. Like they didn't win the draft, but they jumped up a few spots after we had been like, oh, we're drafting 7th again. Oh, we're drafting 7th again. Oh, we jumped up to 4. And I think those expectations and optimism elevated what we wanted to see from Pat. And they took a swing on a raw product. And if that raw product had paid off, then they would have looked like geniuses.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So they don't. And he's part of the many problems that is this quagmire of a half-launched and already failing youth development that they have.
Yeah, he's failed way beyond expectations, beyond any expectations we could have put on him, man.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I mean, that's what happens when you get somebody who wasn't even starting in college and you give them the 4th pick, and that just put an insane amount of hype and expectations on them. And
yeah, well, I'll even say this, Briscoe, and it wasn't just us like seeing him and being like he could play. I still remember that rookie season when they played the Lakers and LeBron was out there playing, and after the game was raving about Patrick Williams and was like, oh yeah, the Bulls got one right there. Like he can play. I remember when Kevin Durant that rookie season was like, oh no, that dude can hoop. He's good, man. I remember Kawhi Leonard was like, yeah, he's solid. Like he's got a nice game to him. It wasn't just us, it was actually professionals who actually do this for a living. And some of the greatest to ever play basketball were seeing the same things we were seeing. So there was a disconnect somewhere from that rookie season to now. I don't know if it was injuries or what, but something has disconnected for Patrick Williams, man. But it still has him thinking that he's that dude. And he, oh no, it ain't, maybe it's on the coast. I don't know. I mean, he's doing it like I want to do it, but
I will say though, Dave, I think there's something to that, but I think that because anytime a star like a perennial all-star vet player in this league had kind words to say about Pat after their team played him that night, we would always talk about it. You know, Outsiders, Locked On Bulls, wherever. Like, we would always talk about that because we were Bulls fans who were optimistic about Pat's future. I think there is a generational gap in how NBA players talk about other NBA players compared to when we were growing up. Like, when MJ was coming into that draft class at 84, most of the current stars of the NBA and especially big men were like, yeah, this kid from, you know, North Carolina ain't shit. He's not going to come in and suddenly turn that crap Bulls organization into winners. One player can't turn an organization into winners, and he's a guard. You know, that a time when bigs dominated the league, and that's just an example. But like most often, star players trash talked players who weren't on their level, and star players trash talked other star players. That's what the NBA was. And fast forward to the present, and it's all just like, oh, like, yeah, credit to that guy. Like, yeah, like Austin Reeves really gave me a battle tonight. Like, shout out to him. Like, credit, the kid's got a bright future. It's all this flowery BS talk of like, let me, you know, pat your back, and I know you're going to pat mine, right? Because we're all just out here trying to love each other and trying to shower each other with praise. So to me, at the time, I wanted those compliments to Pat about Pat from some of the brightest stars of the NBA to mean something, but I think that they don't. I think that they're largely hollow because it's a league comprised of star players who, unless they are an exception to the rule and one particular player ticks them off because of something they did on the court or maybe something they said, it is not a league of players trash talking other players anymore. It's mostly kind, flowery words showered upon one another, whether or not they deserve it.
I agree with that, but I disagree with it when it comes to Patrick Williams. I don't disagree with the sentiment and all those things have changed. But guys actually taking time out to give a compliment to Patrick Williams still stands on meaning something. You didn't hear them do it to any other Bulls rookie. They didn't do it to none of them. I didn't hear that about Kobe White his rookie year. I damn sure ain't heard it about Dalen Terry. And I didn't even hear it about Ayo. I didn't hear it about none of them. But I damn sure heard it about Patrick Williams, dog. And that's why it stood out to me. Like, Ayo had a way better rookie year than all of them. But the flash is what they said. Lowry didn't get this. Wendell didn't get this. Like, none of those guys, those rookie years, were getting this from those kind of basketball players, man. So I think it still means something when the star says something about those guys. But I agree with you. Like, it has changed. Everybody's patting each other on the back, thinking they're nice and, you know, and stuff like that. Even Modest Buzelis, the only pat on the back I heard him get was from Paul George on his podcast, and that's because he said Paul George was one of his favorite players. So, of course, Paul George is like, oh, yeah, let me pat you on the back, buddy. Yeah, that guy, hey, guys, watch this guy. He's got something else to him. But you ain't heard nobody else talking about Modest Buzelis, not one word. But Patrick Williams had them dudes saying stuff about him that we were saying as well. Not saying that he's going to take over the league or he's going to be the best player the Bulls ever had, but just simply saying, hey, guys, there's some talent there. I think you guys might want to look further into that. And Patrick said, I'm going to go eat some chicken parm.
Let's talk Bulls ahead. Let's give Pat some slack. He's just said about not being able to work the Derrick Rose pop-up shop. And Clem says he's doing the Rose delivery. That's why it's taking up to 3 months.
Oh my gosh. I wish I had some of those roses. Did you get roses that day, Melissa, when they were there?
I took home one for Mina.
Okay, right on.
For her birthday, but yeah, other than that, no, I was working it, so
right on.
I did not. Yeah.
Would she even accept it if it wasn't from a Zach LaVine pop-up shop?
He actually did.
How about Denzel?
How about Denzel?
Not Denzel.
Oh my God.
I don't think he got any praise at all.
Well, we know one guy who was giving him praise.
Himself?
The ball head menace?
No, see Red Fred. That's it. That's
yeah. Well, we had him on last episode, and we did not know that he has an extreme dislike for Kirk Heinrich.
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me tell you this story.
Hates him.
I'll tell you this story because this is how I met C. Red Fred. We used to work like in the same building across from each other. And I got on the elevator one day, and I've always got hats on, bro. And I had a Bulls hat on, and he was like, "Oh man, you a Bulls fan?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And we're talking on our way up because we went to the 35th floor. So we're talking, and he was like, "Well, how do you feel about Ben Gordon?" I was like, "Oh man, I love Ben Gordon." And Fred adores Ben Gordon. He named his kid Ben after Ben Gordon. He adores Ben Gordon. And then he was like, "Well, yeah, how you feel about Kirk Henry?" I was like, "I don't really like Kirk. He all right." His eyes lit up. He's lit up. And he was like, "What?" And we were cool ever since then. Like ever since then, when he heard me say that, he's been cool. Now I don't have the deep seated that Fred has for him, but man, that day, just say anything bad about Kirk Henry, Fred is gonna be cool with you. I promise.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
No, that's true. It was actually one of the first things he asked me to when I first met him for the first time. He asked me about Kirk also. And I didn't really know too much about like who he liked and who he didn't like. And my answer was kind of similar. Like Kirk was cool, but I don't know if he's the legend that everybody wants to build him up to be.
Right.
Yeah, he was cool. And yeah, same kind of reaction. So that's funny. Now learning this later on that he can't stand Kirk. He said, if his jersey ever gets retired, I'm crawling up there myself and pulling it down. That's what he said. I'm gonna buy the team and I'm gonna pull it down myself. That's exactly what he said.
Oh, I love Fred so much. I love you, Fred. I love you, man. I swear I do.
Let's talk Bulls, says I can tell you no Bulls fan is naming their kids Patrick.
That's for damn true.
Oh my God.
Man. Pat's still catching strays.
Still, dog. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, I have a question for y'all though, because since the All-Star game is around, what do y'all feel about Zach and Vooch's chances of actually being All-Stars?
Yeah. I think it's a slim chance that Vooch might get voted in by the coaches just because I don't know too many other centers in the East that you can point at being so consistent that he has been this season. Zach, maybe if somebody gets hurt and he's an injury replacement.
I don't think it's happening.
Not
taking anything away from either of them, but I just don't think it's going to happen, especially based off our record. A lot of times they calculate that into their decision making too, but they've both had exceptional years so far, the both of them. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
No. I mean, I think Vooch and Zach both have fringe cases statistically to be reserve all-stars.
Sure.
And even though fan voting isn't a part of it because you don't expect them to be winning fan voting, like I think the second roll of returns just came through and neither of them still are in the top 10. That's not a surprise. Their outside shot is a coach's reserve selection. But I think in order to do that, you have to be playing for a team that the league looks at and a team that the league respects. And I'm not just saying this from my bitter, angry, biased Bulls fan chair right now. Like, I genuinely think the league does not give half a shit about the Chicago Bulls right now, and I don't think the league respects the Chicago Bulls right now. So whoever these all-star coaches are, if it's Cleveland in the East, they're not going to go out of their way to appease the Bulls and make them, some all-star reserve selection because nobody in the league cares if the Bulls are happy or not because nobody in the league respects the Bulls right now, nor should they.
Oh, he'll be back on the air tomorrow, baby. Look at it, rare four. Look at it, rare four, man. I love it.
I've gone through a cup of tea and 2 throat lozenges so far.
This is flu game Peck in full effect.
Oh, absolutely.
I see a meme.
Yeah, our guy Troy, whole lot of bull, says, I don't care about the All-Star game, nor do I vote. But how the hell does Jordan Poole have more votes than Zach?
That's the Matt's point. Because Zach has been outstanding beyond words this season as far as what he's done on the floor statistically. Like, it's the best I've ever seen him play in a Bulls uniform. The consistency, the calmness, like staying within himself, like not dribbling the ball off the foot, not forcing things. The only time I saw him force things was like yesterday. And that's because they were down by 30 and nobody else could do anything. And he started trying to force stuff. And that's when, he started dribbling the ball incorrectly. And that's when the turnovers started happening in that fourth quarter. But he hasn't really done that this year, man. And it's just been great to watch him like that, be that kind of player on and off the floor. Like, he hasn't really had a misstep at all this season.
Yeah, that's a great point. You can definitely see he's just calm and collected. We know he's not like the best decision maker on the court, but he's been balling out, like just letting the game come to him. So it's a really great point. I did notice that the way he's playing this season versus last season, like it's just not forced like it was last season. So,
but at the same time, I think like younger fans are the ones who are going through the hoops that it takes to vote for all-stars right now. And I think the younger generation of NBA fans are fans of players more so than teams. So they vote for their players that they love. And that might even be, as absurd as it sounds, there's a handful of young NBA fans out there who are like, yo, I love Jordan Poole. He's my favorite player. I loved him when he was on that good Warriors team, and now I'm still rocking with him in Washington. And, I live in Dust Bowl, Kansas, but I got my league pass, and I'm watching Jordan Poole every night, and I'm voting for him for the All-Star team. And Bulls fans right now who, when the team is at least semi-watchable, will rally around and vote for all deserving players on their team to be All-Stars. Like, Bulls fans are global. You all know this. We all know this. It's why we all are Bulls podcasters. Bulls fans are global, and neither of their players who are arguably having top 10 All-Star seasons, vote-wise, are in the top 10 of vote getting among fans right now. That should tell you something. That should tell you a big, giant, fat, ugly thing.
First of all, shout out to Zach for passing Chet the Jet Walker as the 6th all-time leader in Bulls franchise history last night. And didn't Jordan Poole, like when he was with the Warriors, do something with like a Korean pop star group that got him a lot of votes? And I think that's probably continuing on.
I don't know that. That doesn't ring a bell, but if it's true, and I would believe it if it is true, then yeah, there's half of his All-Star votes right there.
And it's working. I mean, it's working for him. So shout out.
Yeah, speaking of Jordan Poole, we play the Wizards again tomorrow.
Yeah. The return of Matt Peck. The return, ladies and gentlemen.
Hats will fly.
Damn, I'm taking another sick day tomorrow, buddy.
I honestly would understand. I would. I would get it. Yeah, I would get it. I would. But Matt's got to come in because he can't. Because he misses me. He's got to come in, man. He misses me. So hey,
I couldn't stay away from this tonight. My throat's killing me right now, but I couldn't say no.
I'm excited for this Kings game. Not the right reasons, not for our team, but
DeMar, right, for DeMar. Yeah. Will and I talked about that yesterday, like just about reminiscing a little bit, letting Will, because Will won't be with us. He'll be at the stadium. Will to go Godly will be at the stadium, so I want to just give him opportunity to speak on DeMar, because Will always spoke pretty glowingly about him, especially with how he was with the media. And just how kind he was with his time, and always had a thoughtful thing to say and a wise thing to say. But then just also the great basketball we saw on the floor from him, man. And just he gave us some really good memories. Like he really did. And he was just a scoring machine. And you just want all the good things for him, man, because you see his daughters, you know what I mean, and what he does. You just want all the good things for guys like DeMar, who just want to hoop. That's all he wants to do is play basketball. And yeah, it rubs off. I know those young guys want to be out there with him because he definitely affected them when he was here. So yeah, he was great. Shout out to DeMar.
I can't wait to capture, or I can't wait to see whoever captures, whether it be photos, videos, whatever, the moment when DeMar and Dalen are reunited. Like morning shoot around maybe, or like whenever that moment comes, because
Yeah.
You know, that relationship was special.
Yeah.
Mentor and mentee, you know, an old wily vet and a young guy in the league, and you could tell that they were like already on their way to being fast friends. And yeah, it'll be nice to see them and some of DeMar's other teammates, you know, reunited.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Also, Io, who Billy said last night is ready to start ramping up, but there's no return date. Maybe Io's aiming to return that game. So
just give him some time. Give him what are you rushing Io back for? What are you rushing Io back for?
What? He can give him a hug. You know what I mean? The street clothes. It's cool.
I think that calf still bothered him. I really do. I think he's got to make sure that calf's 100% okay before he comes back.
I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned.
I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Big Dave, Matt, thank y'all for coming on. You want to tell the people where they can follow you guys and to watch CHGO?
Man, you can follow Matt at Bulls_Peck. You can follow me at Sports, BAWL Sports. You can follow Will Gottlieb at Will_Gottlieb. Shout out to our producer Katie. And shout out to Will Purdue as well for rolling with us. Also, you can check us out after every Bulls game. We will be doing a post-game show. I would say pre and post, but sometimes we don't do a pre-game, but majority of the time we're definitely doing a pre-game show. So yeah, pre and post CHGO Bulls. You can check us out. All CHGO. We're there. YouTube, we're there. Xfinity, we're there. Roku, we're there. I'm forgetting Samsung TV Plus. Yes, we're there. We're on that also. So yeah, we're all over the place. I'm forgetting one more. But yes, we're there. If it's a screen on your microwave, we're there. We're there, man. So thank y'all for all the love and thank y'all for enjoying what we do. I know I say that a lot, but I really, really, truly mean it. And I know Matt means it as well. We're overwhelmed and we're grateful that people just want to hear what we have to say and watch us be friends and be silly together. So yeah, thank y'all for doing that.
Trusty microwave bringing you CHGO Bulls and Hot Pockets every night.
Every night. Life, baby.
Yeah. Ditto what Dave said. Briscoe, Melissa, you know how much we love and appreciate you guys and what you guys do for Bulls Nation, what you mean to Bulls Nation. And anytime y'all send us an invite to come on and chat Bulls with you guys, you know we're always going to say yes, because that is what we do. That is what y'all do. And everybody in the comments, shout out to them for hanging out with us tonight. Shout out to those of them who hang out with us on our platform every night. And a genuine pleasure and joy to do this with y'all every time.
We appreciate y'all so much. Like I've said to you guys before, Bulls Outsiders inspired me to start podcasting. So anytime talking with you guys, such a pleasure.
If the bald-headed menace can get one tiny fraction of credit for something out there, there you go.
I just want to thank you guys for being just amazing human beings too. Aside from like all the bull stuff, you guys are just both such lights. Like for real. Yes, you too, Matt. You guys are just such caring people, such empathetic people, and we appreciate the passion that you guys put into all your work. It translates. So that's why it's so easy to gravitate towards you guys. That's why everybody loves you guys. And you guys are just very inspirational to everybody, honestly. You're very welcoming, inviting energy, and always inspiring us, always encouraging people to continue to pursue their dreams. So that never gets lost on me. We really appreciate you guys. Like everybody loves you. Bulls Nation loves you. I love you guys. So thank you.
Man, appreciate it.
Love goes right back. Love goes right back to you guys and to Bulls fans everywhere, truly.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you to the 242 people that are tapping in with us right now. Thanks to all of y'all. Ask that you hit the follow, like, and subscribe button. Do it on CHGO's podcast as well. And until the next time, go Bulls. Or if you're Matt, go Losses.